Welcome everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michael Webster and I chair the festival board, which is a great pleasure, I have to say. Welcome to the Wheeler Centre, and in welcoming you I also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which the Wheeler Centre stands, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations. I'm only going to speak for a couple of minutes. My role today is to introduce Andrew Abbott from Arts Victoria and Rohan Leppert from the City of Melbourne, and then Lisa Dempster will speak to you about this year's, what I have to say, in all modesty, is a fantastic program. So first of all I'd like to introduce Andrew to come and speak to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Michael. Councillor Rohan Leppert, City of Melbourne, Lisa Dempster, Festival Director, and the festival team, and I certainly hope that you're all banking sleep in the run-up to the opening at the moment. Of course, members of the media and supporters of the festival. It's a pleasure to join you today on behalf of Arts Victoria and the Minister for the Arts, Heidi Victoria, who sends her regards and is very much looking forward to the opening night. Now, if the Melbourne Festival were a book, at this point it would be a mystery. Over the last few weeks we've had some clues as to what the program may hold, and key characters have emerged. From the singing astronaut, Commander Chris Hadfield, to acclaimed novelist Sir Salman Rushdie, the UN Goodwill Ambassador and anti-slavery campaigner Lydia Cacho, and even the hero, Robert Newton, who's a writer of young adult fiction while also being a full-time fireman. I look forward to Lisa's address, which is up shortly, as she reveals how the rest of the tale will unfold. Arts Victoria is proud to be part of the Melbourne Writers' Festival story, along with all these other supporters. Our investment supports the festival to provide a wealth of opportunities for audiences of all ages to come together to celebrate their love of the written word. Also provides an opportunity for so many homegrown writers and thinkers to connect with the public and their colleagues from across the nation and the globe. The Melbourne Writers' Festival is a key component of Melbourne's status as a UNESCO City of Literature. Just a few months ago we announced a significant milestone for the City of Literature, the establishment of a UNESCO City of Literature office. This has been made possible by a partnership between Arts Victoria and the City of Melbourne with the support of the Wheeler Centre. It will be based here at the Wheeler Centre, or here upstairs I think, and will be set up over the coming months. We'll work to support and highlight the existing literary scene in Melbourne and Victoria, and will also represent Melbourne on the UNESCO Creative Cities Network. The office will ensure that people across the city and the state to not only know about their city of literature, but embrace it and truly feel part of it. We're looking forward to making a further announcement about the office and in particular the inaugural director shortly. But back to the story at hand. After today, the Melbourne Writers' Festival will transform from a mystery to a choose your own adventure. Over 10 days, 400 writers, from authors to thinkers, musicians to historians, will take part. There's much on offer. In particular, I encourage you to check out the extensive free program. Can I congratulate Michael, Lisa and the festival team on bringing together another incredible program and for the role you play as ambassadors of our City of Literature. And to everyone here, we've all got an important role to play. After today, it's our job to spread the word about this festival and all it has to offer. After all, the best stories are the ones we share. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Needless to say, which I should have really mentioned before, that both Arts Victoria and the City of Melbourne are our major partners. And before I ask Rohan to come and speak, I'd like to also acknowledge our other major partners, of which there are, I have to say, well over 150, and I'm not going to actually read them all out, especially not slowly. But it would be remiss of me not again to mention Arts Victoria, to mention UNESCO Melbourne City of Literature, the Australia Council for the Arts, Fed Square, The Age, Dimmicks in Collins Street, and JWT, as well as our numerous other individual donors, partners, philanthropic foundations, all of whom play such an important role in bringing the festival to Melbourne every year, certainly for the last 29 years. So thanks to all of our supporters, without whose support we actually couldn't run the festival, albeit for our internal enthusiasm and energy. Now I'd like to introduce Councillor Rohan Leppert from City of Melbourne.
Thanks so much, Michael. I too would like to respectfully acknowledge that we are meeting on the land of the Kulin Nation and paying my respects to elders past and present. Andrew Abbott, Director of Arts Victoria, Michael Webster and Lisa Dempster from the Writers' Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here at this launch to celebrate another iteration of the Melbourne Writers' Festival as the fantastic festival team gear up to deliver a bigger and better than ever event. As Michael's mentioned, the City of Melbourne is a major partner. We've maintained an involvement since the early days, and we continue today as a festival partner through our Arts Grants program. We are proud of this association and of the festival's growth since its beginnings in '86. The festival has, since then, firmly entrenched itself in Melbourne's busy events calendar, building its standing as one of Australia's premier literary events. And as has been mentioned, such a great program. We'll hear a bit more about that in a moment, I'm sure. Sir Salman Rushdie and Commander Chris Hadfield are both huge boons for the festival. Equally, it's exciting to see such a diverse and extensive list of more than 400 authors, musicians, commentators, historians, poets and experts bound for Melbourne. The city and the state will come alive with a wide-ranging selection of venues, including, I know, the City of Melbourne's own art play and City Gallery, among others, which will play host to some events. I also congratulate the Schools Program Director, Mike Shuttleworth, for compiling such a superb, action-packed schools program with its more than 70 events. That's going to be particularly exciting, and it's such a great thing that the festival does. As Andrew has mentioned, this year has been a big year for literature in Melbourne, of course. Our UNESCO City of Literature status is maturing somewhat with the impending opening of the City of Literature office. And at the council level, while we've been busy working with Arts Victoria to get the office started, we've also been running our regular arts grants programs, and there have been more literature-based artistic funding applications coming through than ever before, and I think that's such a great demonstration of the passion out there for producing and consuming Melbourne literature. But August, of course, will be all about the festival itself, and it's been expertly crafted and delivered, and for that, Michael and Lisa and your team deserve generous praise. So congratulations and all the best in the lead-up. Thank you.
Hello, great to see so many people here. Thanks for coming to this briefing about the Melbourne Writers' Festival program. Before I start, I do have to let you know that this information is embargoed until Friday, so I know it's going to be hard, but no tweeting, blogging, or printing, or otherwise putting the word out into the world, if you don't mind. In 2014, Melbourne Writers' Festival will connect writers and stories to celebrate a world of literature, explore universal ideas, and inspire a global community of readers. Our opening night keynote address will be delivered for the first time by one of our City of Literature's great writers, Helen Garner, who will be launching her new book, This House of Grief. Yay, one of my heroes. The festival will then launch off in style with an uplifting multimedia presentation by the world's best-loved astronaut, Space Oddity Commander Chris Hadfield, who will share his celestial wisdom in An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth. You already know about another of our keynote guests, Sir Salman Rushdie. I'm pleased to say that in addition to delivering a Festival of Dangerous Ideas keynote, Freedom to Write, Salman Rushdie will appear in an event exclusive to the Melbourne Writers' Festival, An Audience with Salman Rushdie, a rare opportunity to get to know the man behind the writing. Melbourne Writers' Festival has something for everyone. We have more than 400 events, which is more than ever before, and over 400 authors taking part in events across over 40 venues, so we're really taking over the city this year. Our World Literature stream will take audiences on a literary tour of the globe as we welcome writers from Africa, the Asia Pacific, India, Europe and the Americas, alongside our own international stars. Key guests, and I'll try not to get too listy here, but we do have quite a few novelists and memoirists coming, and poets. Key guests include Meg Wolitzer, Rupert Thompson, No Violet Bulawayo, Alyssa Nutting, Philip Henshaw, Simon Armitage, Eri DeLuca, Lauren Bukes, Anita Heiss, Nick Earls, and Mark Henshaw, plus songwriters turned writers Willie Lawton and Everything But the Girls Ben Watt. We will also shine a spotlight on our local luminaries, featuring new books from Victorians Gerald Murnane, Sophie Cunningham and Sonia Hartnett, and introducing newcomers Eli Glassman, Julie Zago, Maxine Beneba-Clark, Nick Lowe, and so many more. We have over 300 local writers participating. This year, we're inviting Melburnians to connect and explore, and participate in a range of innovative literary events for the curious-minded. Take your chance on a literary lucky dip event in Dumbo Feather's Airstream Caravan, which will be parked up at Fed Square for the duration of the festival, and also acting as a book swap. Or download our Twists and Turns storytelling app, where the plot twists as you turn down Melbourne streets and laneways. Incorporating high-tech geolocation beacons, it is one literary experience not to be missed. And we're inviting readers of all kinds to explore Melbourne by foot and the 96 tram on a curated lit hop through the city. A one-day choose your own adventure featuring a surprising smorgasbord of quirky experiences delivered by our best independent literary organisations and writers. Our festival club is moving this year to Optic Kitchen and Bar in Acme, where we have events such as the Ages Coffee and Papers, the Lifter Bras Trivia Night, all designed to keep the conversation going all day and well into the night. We're once again setting the agenda for discussion in a series of thought-provoking events. Leading international thinkers will join Australian writers and commentators to discuss the state of the world, with many events centred around our leading theme of freedom. We have Lydia Cacho talking on slavery, Marsha Gesson on Pussy Riot, and The Guardian's Luke Harding revealing the Snowden files. We'll also delve into local politics with Gareth Evans, Malcolm Fraser, Bob Brown, and more. And thinkers as diverse as Christopher Clark, Morris Gleitzman, and Sigrid Thornton will take part in our Words and War stream, dissecting the legacies of World War I. Our new Talking Points events will tap into current affairs topics and generate discussion well beyond the festival. We have, among quite a few others, Alice Poole talking on bigotry in Australia, and the New Yorker's Elizabeth Colbert talking on biodiversity and climate change. These events will be followed up with online discussions to keep the conversation going. We have a new stream this year called Art, Design and Innovation, which will explore new modes of storytelling and the gamut of visual expression from pop culture to fine art. Bled and Butcher will unveil a stunning photographic history of Nick Cave. The New Yorker's Emily Nussbaum will talk all things TV. Benjamin Walker takes us inside podcasting. Bradley Garrett encourages place hacking, and QI's Molly Oldfield reveals the hidden secrets of museums. Look out as well for exhibitions taking place at City Gallery, No Vacancy, Art Play and the Little Library at Melbourne Central. And in an exclusive keynote event, we will be presenting Maria Popova, the hugely popular creator of the blog Brain Pickings, who will talk about connecting art, literature and creativity online. Our food and wine events feature leading international food writer Ruth Reichel and local foodies in a series of thinking and drinking events at Moon Underwater and the Duke of Wellington. We're also heading to the Grampians before the festival for a weekend getaway focusing on gorgeous gardens, good food, great wine and memorable conversations at the Royal Mail Hotel and Mount Langigaram Winery. Armchair travellers will love our illustrated travel talks with intrepid adventurers Andrew Locke and Emma Ayres, among others. And we'll invite you all to discover the cultural intricacies of our Asian neighbours as we gain a perspective into the cities of Singapore, Beijing, Shanghai and Jakarta, as seen through the eyes of its riders in our city-to-city stream. We have loads of gigs, shows and cabarets to enjoy and keep you up late right across the festival. We'll be joining a global celebration of Wales' most famous poet, Dylan Thomas, in an amazing musical review, and rocking out to sonnets as Shakespeare's Secret imagines Shakespeare as a rock and roll gig. Just so crazy it might work, I think. Join young memoirists for our Oversharers Anonymous cabaret, or peer into the life of an artist in Australia with the Bedroom Philosopher. Plus, we're welcoming back the hugely successful Queer Literary Salon, hosted by Benjamin Law, and the absolutely magical Radio Hour, hosted by Jay Crans. Melbourne Writers Festival encourages and inspires the next generation of readers as well through our Interactive and Creative Schools program, when over 15,000 students descend on Fed Square for literary inspiration. We're also running family and children's programming across our weekends at Fed Square, with events featuring Jackie French, Terry Denton and more. And to finish the festival in style, our closing night address will be delivered by the man who made reading hip for a whole new generation, Dave Eggers. If you haven't been to a Writers' Festival before, it's a fun way to connect with people with shared interests. There are so many ways to get involved. You can attend an auditorium event, have coffee with a journalist, have a conversation in the caravan, join in on social media, #MWF14, or listen to poetry at the pub. As Michael said, the Melbourne Writers' Festival is in its 29th year. We attracted the best guests, our audiences keep growing, and we keep innovating, making us one of Australia's most exciting and engaging cultural events. Before I get off the stage and you guys all actually get to get your hands on a program, I'd like to point out our amazing PR team. Scott, put your hand up, Evelyn, and I don't know if Michelle's here, no? So if you have any questions about interview requests, media coverage, anything like that, grab one of them after I finish talking. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to say thank you. CPR is our new publicity team this year and they're doing an absolutely cracking and inspiring job, so we really appreciate working with you. The festival will take place between Thursday 21st and Sunday 31st of August. Thanks for being here today and I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the festival. Thanks.